Hey there, today I want to talk to you about a huge step that happened for me when I was on my self-discovery journey, when I was unraveling these false stories. I was reading, I was doing the work, I was meditating, but I got to a point that I kind of hit a ceiling where it's like these stories were so entangled right from childhood, some bad religious beliefs in there. I was so entangled. I was finding it very hard to pull it apart. I was finding it very hard to control my emotional state. I was getting triggered. I didn't understand why. And I was frustrated because I'm like, hang on, none of this is working. And I got led to a person who did inner child work. And I must say it was one of the most transformational experiences I've had. And it's not an instant thing. It's a form of therapy. But what the inner child work did is it seemed to cut through all of those stories. It got to the core of the matter. And I don't want to explain. I've got a podcast coming with someone who's just a genius in this. And she can explain to you what the inner child work is and why it's so important. But I just wanted to share with you what it did for me. Firstly, it gave me total control of my emotional state. I was able to understand where my triggers were coming from at a deeper level without analysing every single story that happened in my life. But I think one of the most powerful things that it gave me is it helped me start to love myself, because the things that I viewed as failings, the things that caused me to make mistakes, the interactions I'd had with people in my past that I just cringed about, and you get some self-loathing, you get regrets, shame. It helps you shed all of that stuff, and it helps you identify why you might behave in a certain way or why you did behave in a certain way, and you start loving that little inner child, and you start parenting that child how they should have been parented if they had proper emotional support. And so this is really important on our journey of peeling back false stories and our journey of self-love, because when you can love yourself, firstly, you don't make those same mistakes again when you understand where they came from. But the other thing about self-love is you shed the shame. And there's no problem with feeling guilty over a mistake, because we need to learn from our mistakes. But the difference between shame and guilt is shame is I'm a bad person, and guilt is I've done a bad thing or I've made a mistake. And I don't believe there's any room for shame for any person who wants to be part of a healthy community. And we're all the same. We need love. We need self-acceptance. We need to be seen. We need our voices heard. And so anybody who has these needs, we need to love ourselves first. And what you'll find, it'll totally change you. It'll totally free you. So just one other step that the inner child work gives you is there's this process of finding yourself. And that's a really cool process. When you peel back the layers, you peel back the false stories, you discard them, you rewrite your narrative. But then the next stage in your development will be being yourself, because so much is focused on doing instead of being. And I find this concept of grace in religion is a beautiful concept. It's a gift. We've been given forgiveness, right? And I started thinking, why can't the people who don't believe in Jesus, why can't we still engender this concept of forgiveness, of self, of us giving ourselves a chance, a break from the shame and the guilt? And this is where the inner child work comes in. The inner child work, and I've got a podcast coming up with Sasha, and she's going to talk to you about this, where inner child work is basically grace for non-Christians, and it's all the good stuff. If you're interested in it, just say yes below or give me a ping, because I'll let you know when the podcast's available. If you are keen to explore the inner child work, you can PM me. I'll put you in touch with people who can help you. All I'm saying to you is it's just, if you find yourself stuck at the moment And it could be stuck in your job, stuck with a relationship issue. It could be anything. The inner child work is something that I'd advise you, look it up, give it a go, because it's really powerful.